Hey, food fans! Have you ever made a decision in your life and maybe wondering to yourself, hey, am I right? Did I do the right thing? Or am I the a-hole? Well, today, we're gonna be sniffing around this lovely subreddit called aita. I'm not really much of a Reddit fella of sorts, but I thought it'd be cool and fun and interesting if we looked at this Reddit today. Okay, so the general premise of this Reddit here, people come up here with their f***ed up stories. They basically ask if they're in the right or in the wrong, or if they're the a-hole. As you see here, catharsis for the frustrated moral philosopher in all of us, and a place to finally find out if you're in the wrong in an argument that's been bothering you. Tell us about any non-violent conflict you have experienced. Give us both sides of the story and find out if you're right or if you're the a-hole. For us to, skip all the filler, and get all the beautiful, most wonderful stories, I'm happy to use AITA filtered. I have no time for filler in anything that I watch. What is this? Am I the a-hole for telling my toddler that I will call the monster? Okay. A while back, I read about an indigenous tribe that never spanked or yelled at their children. They believe that in yelling at a child is childish on the part of the adult. Instead, they will tell them things like, if you don't wear your hat outside, the monster will come back and suck out your brains. Or, if you get close to the ocean, a monster will get you. What I read about them seemed to make a lot of sense, so I've strived to never spank them and keep yelling to a minimum. I'd be a liar if I said I don't have my moments. My 2-year-old is very smart and doesn't respond to spanking or yelling anyway, so it's pointless to take that route. But sometimes when she's losing her shit, I'll tell her that if she doesn't stop, I will call the monster. She immediately stops. Kind of looks around for a minute and becomes a normal person again. My husband really hates it, and I will warp her mind or make her twisted. That's not my goal, but I did think it was better than the alternative. Always talk to her and tell her why we don't do something. I only save the monster bit when she's beyond reason. So, am I the a-hole here? I mean, I think it depends on the context. I mean, if you're just like scaring your kid every once in a while for a joke, maybe it's okay. But terrorizing your kid on a regular basis, the monster's gonna kill you. Okay. Am I the a-hole for requiring my daughter to agree to remove her facial tattoos before she comes back into the house? From this title alone, I know that it's written by a boomer of sorts. What do you mean requiring someone to remove their facial tattoos? Wouldn't that fuck up their face? My wife and I are having an argument I thought would be interesting enough to bring here. Some background info is necessary here to decide whether or not I'm the a-hole, so here are some relevant facts. My daughter is 19 and we have 2 more children at Heim, 14 and 10, all girls. Okay, cool. My daughter's mother passed away, drug overdose, when she was 2 years old. I met my current wife and daughter when my daughter was 3. Daughter started acting out her first year of high school, started using drugs. We sent her to rehab, tried multiple different things to help her. She ended up leaving home at 16, moved across the country to Los Angeles. We live in Atlanta. To make a long story short, she lived really wild and loose for a while, and eventually the real world got to her. She straightened up a bit, got her GED and a decent job, and shared an apartment. She recently lost her job as did 2 of her roommates. She cannot afford to live in LA anymore and would like to come back home. My wife is ecstatic. She's talking to her daily and they're making big plans for her to come back. I want her to show me that she's ready to change her life before coming back home. During the years she's been gone, she's gotten 3 facial tattoos. An a symbol between her eyebrows, a 666 on the left side of her face, and a 999 on the right side. If she's going to come back, I want her to agree to remove the tattoos. I will pay for it. She can stay here rent and responsibility free as she figures out what she wants to do as long as she does this. She and my wife are upset about it. So your own daughter with 2 siblings in a great relationship with your wife, who's had kind of like a rough early start in her teenage years, why does she have to remove the tattoos off her face? Why do you think they're upset about it? Why do you think? My wife thinks I'm being an a-hole because we should be welcoming her back with open arms after all the work she has done to get her life together at this young age. She thinks we should get her into therapy, address her trauma, etc. I think these are all great ideas. But I also think that her tattoo removal is necessary. This is the problem with boomer disease, man. I don't want my other girls to think that these tattoos are acceptable. They're an impressionable age of 14. My older daughter definitely thinks her sister's the coolest person on the planet. I think we better start with a fresh slate. And it would prove to me that she's ready to leave that lifestyle behind. Plus, Atlanta is not like Los Angeles. Although we live in that city, people are not going to be open to hiring someone with tattoos on their face. I want my daughter to put in writing she will remove the tattoos on her face before I will allow her to move back in. And my wife thinks I'm being an a-hole for robbing her of her free expression during her time of need. So your daughter, who's already been through a million things, you're requiring and asking her to put in writing that she will have surgery and remove the tattoos that's been on her face for years. The people on this Reddit, man! Okay, as you might notice, it is getting progressively worser and worser. Am I the a-hole for ditching my autistic cousin on a hike? What do you think? What is this? Title sounds horrible, but please hear me out. Me and a few buddies are avid hikers, and we often go on pretty long and demanding hikes. I am the de facto captain of the group, as I'm the only one organizing and planning these hikes. On one occasion, my mother asked me to bring my little cousin Pete on one of our hikes, since he really liked the outdoors. Now, Pete is autistic and sometimes prone to outbursts, but he's in decent shape, so I decided to let him tag along with me on the next trip. So you're fully aware that you're bringing an autistic person with you, especially your own family member. Now I'm sure since he's already your family member, you should know potentially his outbursts or maybe how he would behave. Shouldn't be anything new to you, I'm hoping. There were 5 of us on the hike. During the hike, another friend, Luke, tripped and hit his head, getting concussion in the process. We were obviously all very worried, and the stress was apparently too much for Pete, and he broke down crying. There was no signal where we were, so our plan was to carry Luke back to the start of our trail. Thankfully, we were 2 miles out, and call an ambulance there. To make sure as safe as possible, all 4 of us needed to help support Luke back to the entrance. All 4 of you picking up one guy? Huh? All 4 of you need to be there to help one person, but all of you grab a limb? What is this? I don't understand. But unfortunately, Pete was just sitting on the ground bawling. We couldn't respond to anyone. I was getting really angry since time was of essence. Concussions are no joke. And I was screaming at Pete for him to get up and help us. If he's your little cousin and he's potentially having an outburst, why would you yell at him? Since Pete won't respond to any of us, I decided we needed to leave him there, and then the 3 of us carry Luke back ourselves. Why would you leave him? And I'll come back for him later. Thankfully, we managed to get Luke back, but the other 2 accompanied Luke to the hospital, and I went back to the trail to find Pete. I managed to find Pete the exact same place he was before, still crying, with some convincing, managed to get him out the trail and come back home. What if he got up and ran and fell and got into a concussion himself? When I told my girlfriend what happened, she was furious. We had a big fight of how I just left an autistic kid in the, he put in quotations, wilderness. Where do you think you are? You are hiking. You are hiking. Idiot. But the thing is, my friend's injury was so much more urgent than my little cousin's tantrum, and I was able to get him back safely anyways. My hiking buddies told me that while this happened it was unfortunate, I really had no choice. If you have 4 people, I'm sure you do not need 3 of them to take one dude. I don't understand. I mean, theoretically, you could have had one person, like you could have done the correct gamer move of having one person stay with your cousin and hopefully talk him into, you know, eventually when he calmed down, take him with you guys, or you guys meet up with him, okay? That's probably the best gamer choice you could have made. But no, everyone here is an idiot. All right, okay. Am I the a-hole for asking my baby mama to pay for a new Xbox that my kid broke? Nah, man, you're not an a-hole. Me and her are in whatever terms in relationship. Sometimes I can stand her and sometimes I can't. We share a kid, so I try my best. My place was near to a doctor's appointment she had that morning, so she figured she would just grab my stuff at my place if she keeps forgetting. 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, that's a good idea. I was alright with it. Left my door unlocked while I was at work. Please stop typing like this. Hard to read, dude. And she would just lock the door when she leaves. So she texts me that she's done with her appointment and tells me she's heading to my apartment. Psst. Whatever. Just said okay. Useless text. Already got confirmation. No text at all saying anything about an Xbox later. When I got home from work, first of all, my kitchen light was on. Annoyed by that, and then when I go to my room, throw my pants off, about to hop on the game, I look down to it's lying on the ground. I was like, what the f? I turned it on. I turned it on, making clunking noises. It works, but the sound is horrendous. Mind you, I have hardwood floors, so that didn't help. I text her. Man, first of all, she's wasting your light. That's messed up, man. And what the heck? The X was on the floor? What's going on? I text her what happened earlier in my room about my Xbox. She doesn't know. Told her to cut the BS. Come on, man. She asked her son after a couple times of being stern. He finally said he tripped over a cord and it dropped. I don't even know why he was in my room anyways. My door stays closed. She must have been trying to sneaky look through my stuff, but who knows. So I told her she has to pay for a new one since she was supposed to be watching him. I was pissed about it. Some days I just want to go home and relax and play the game. Tells me to my name relax. It was an accident. And didn't you just go on vacation? I'm sure you have enough. An Xbox might be $200, but I ain't break it. She hasn't given my money, and it told me I have the nerve to ask her to pay for it. I think the story is the best. What's funny about this subreddit is that people vote, essentially. So here on the filtered, 54% says that he's an asshole. It's it's your kid that you have with her, and if he broke it, it's not essentially her fault. I know, she should be watching him, but at the same time, I know it's annoying. It's not a thing of she has to pay for it because she wasn't watching him. In all honesty, it's your kid too. What is she supposed to pay for the Xbox because your son dropped it? Let's look at some of these comments. You have a kid, accidents happen. It's weird that you're accusing her of being sneaky and going through your stuff and not believing she didn't know about the Xbox. It sounds like the kid wandered into your room for a minute, tripped, and didn't tell her about it. She obviously wasn't in there, and nor would she have known. Grow up and replace your own Xbox. Not hard to understand why she's not with you anymore. Alright, that's it for the video. Now obviously, I chose the best story for last. What do you guys think? Like always, if you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you can enjoy more videos like this. Leave me a comment down below, and smash the like button, okay, will ya? It's for the algorithm, okay? See you later, playa. Sayonara! Mr. Prince!